Okay, so let's get into the main part of this episode. We, again, are talking all about planning weddings and the conflict that arises during this time. So, super exciting time of your life, but can also be extremely stressful, a little bit emotional, overwhelming, and can sometimes have endings in relationships, which is rather unfortunate. So during this, we are going to break down the most common conflicts that we see, and those categories are venues. I'm going to walk through a lot of common areas where conflict can like, what do you say when you got like blindsided during during your planning? So first things first, conflict around your guest list, the invitations, the RSVPs. This is probably one of the hardest things in wedding planning, and it's something that you have to create right in the beginning of your planning process. So when you're starting off this planning process, your wedding is about a year away. So things happen within that year. People get invited, they get uninvited, new people get added, and some of the uninvites end up in really bad conflict, and it just sucks. So you may have people that are assuming that they're getting a know a lot about the wedding planning process. So Aaliyah is going to kind of walk us through some of the conflicts that she's seen, specifically one that has happened really recently.
Yes, I mean, I agree. Everybody always thinks that they're invited, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like this always happens. Because then it's like the pressure, right? It's, what am I trying to say? Like, it's just more.
Yeah, it's just intense. There's like so many like strict confining things, and people just don't truly understand. Mm-hmm. And the bride is left to be like explaining herself over and over and over.
Like the capacity of a venue is the capacity of a venue. Like you can't make it any bigger. So then it gets stressful when you're like, no, like I literally cannot fit another person in this place. Like,
so I had a bride recently who has this situation. She can only fit a certain amount of guests in her ballroom. If she goes over that, she has to move ballrooms. The other ballroom, not cute.
Not desirable.
Not desirable at all.
No, we hate it.
She had a B list, which is common sometimes when there's, a lot of people, limited space, whatever. So one of her guests, who, is how do I explain?
Just like an elite member. At your wedding, and so you're like reserving a spot for them, and they're not RSVPing at all. Not a yes or a no.
She's not. She's saying that she's gonna go, but then not going out of her way to RSVP. But like RSVPs were due 2 weeks ago, and like there's still all these people that, like aunts and uncles, like distant, that she wants to invite. So she's like, I don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
Do I RSVP no for her and
someone else in?
Yeah, pull someone else in, but risk her showing up and thinking that she has a seat, or do I confront her and...
She's like an elite member of society, so she's like, the bride's having a hard time like figuring out like, what do I do? Like, what's right or what's wrong?
And it's a client of hers too for extra preference. So
yeah.
You are now one of our elite members. That's what I hear when you
So now she's just in this like chokehold of like, what do I need? Like, what do I do? Do I add more people? Do I not add more people? I personally think that you just RSVP no and you let her know that everything is closed. But then, if she was truly planning on coming, that's going to ricochet into a lot of other things. So it's just these kind of stressful situations that come up that really put you in a big situation.
I told her to just blame it on me. I said I RSVP'd her no, or she RSVP'd her no, and then I turned off RSVPs from her website. And then I told her if it comes up, just say, hey, sorry, my wedding planner is being really strict about like RSVP deadlines, and she submitted everything as is. So then that way you don't have to
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys have any stories on guest lists that have come up?
I think plus ones are always a big conflict, and everyone always wonders, like, what do I do? My personal wedding, we only gave plus ones if you were married, engaged, or we were friends with either of the boy or girl in the relationship. Like, we had a capacity in our limit. We had a venue capacity as well.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes sense. And I kind of blamed it on that. But yeah, like, people were getting so upset that their, like, boyfriends and girlfriends weren't invited. I'm like, I don't know who your boyfriend is. Like, I'd rather have a family member come.
Yeah.
Well, what if it's a friend who gets engaged during like your wedding
During the
planning?
planning process.
I think I would add them on. Or if I knew they were, like, actually serious, and maybe, then yeah, I would definitely let them come. But even, like, there was a conflict because we had one friend that would be traveling from California, and he would have been traveling by himself. He had a newer girlfriend, and I'm like, okay, well, he has other friends at the wedding that he could hang out with.
Yeah, and also you're a grown man.
Yeah, you're a grown man.
I think you can handle
bring
the
your
hour and a half long
2-month-old
flight by
girlfriend.
yourself.
Yeah.
She's not 2 months old.
Yeah, well, the relationship was.
Leave your
my
toddler at
God.
home.
Yes, exactly. But I think
So, yeah,
that,
plus
you know,
ones.
those kind of things are so stressful throughout this, and they can really derail you and, like, your whole kind of mindset. But the plus side of it is, like, these are all people that just love and support you
I know.
and want to be a part of your party.
Wait, one more thing. The same bride I was just talking about, one of her cousins RSVP'd and put her name and then, like, and
I guess, yeah.
her boyfriend's name, because
Like, in the same first name line, like, she's
Yes.
like,
She didn't get a guess.
she's like forcing
Yeah.
it.
She
Oh
is.
my
Right.
God.
right, and, like, I don't even know how she did that, because that was not, the website doesn't let you do that, so I don't know how she did it.
The plus one is always an issue, and it's just really important for you and your partner to, like, make rules and, like, set what you want to have and then stick to that, because people are going to ask him, like, hey, can I bring my girlfriend? And he's going to be like, well, let me go ask my wife and find out. Or he can just say no.
Yeah, exactly.
Awful. Yeah.
Okay, next up, let's talk about conflict with the wedding party. So your wedding party is comprised of the people that you love and care about the most. But the weirdest things happen. Weddings and airports bring out the worst side in people. I don't know what happens. People forget their home training during the time that somebody that loves them the most is getting married, and during the time that they are going through TSA security checkpoint and have to, like, board a plane. Those are, like, the biggest times in their life where you look around like, wow, y'all really have, like, no couth. None.
Whoa.
She's on her word of the day. Oh my goodness.
That was the
None.
largest word I've ever heard out of your
It's
vocabulary.
a short word.
I've
but,
never
like,
heard that word before.
It's like no tact.
Oh.
Ooh.
Like, you just have no, like that. So common things that come up during this time are always going to be budget issues. People are in different places in their life. It's hard to support people when there's a big expense coming up. Time commitments. A lot of times people are just very me focused, and they're like, I don't really care about all the extracurriculars for my friend's wedding because, like, me. There's different expectations. Everybody thinks they should be the leader, or else nobody thinks they should be the leader, and that's always tricky. Kelly, tell us a little bit about some things that you have gone through or that you've seen your brides go through when it comes to wedding parties.
Yeah, so wedding parties are really important for you to really sit down and realize, like, who am I having as bridesmaid? Because these are people that are going to be, you know, there front row with you throughout the process, throughout your wedding. And people always say, like, there's always one or two, like, part of your wedding party, like, later on something's going to happen. You're not going to be friends. And I never thought that would be, like, so true until I personally went through it and, like, definitely was blindsided by a couple girls.
Say names, first and last.
I'm not going to do that. But no, actually, one of my cousin is going through a little bit of a drama situation with her bridesmaid. So she has all these bridesmaids, and when you get asked to be a bridesmaid, you're kind of like, you're accepting that you're going to be there getting ready, getting hair and makeup done, you're going to buy a dress, you're going to go on the bachelorette party, you're going to try to come to the shower, you're like, you are there fully supporting, like, checking the boxes of what you're going to do. And one of the girls has, I guess, a new boyfriend of a couple months, And she is like saying, "Oh, if my new boyfriend's not invited to the wedding, I don't want to be a bridesmaid. Like, I'm not coming to any of the things."
Whoa.
And she's not saying any of this to my cousin, the bride. She is saying this to all the other girls in the bridal party who she's friends with, just like running her mouth. So basically, like, she doesn't live in this state. The fiance called her and said, "Hey, I'm going to be proposing, like, you're really good friends with bride's name.
After 2 months?
I'm happy." No. Like, the couple, the bride and groom.
Oh.
The groom called the friend and said, "Hey, I'm going to be proposing to the bride. Can I fly you out? Would you like to be a part of it?" She said no. They're having an engagement party next month.
And for free? And she
Yeah.
said no?
Yeah, they're having
That's
an engagement party
that's
next
a bad
month.
friend.
And out here.
That's not a friend, that's
She
not.
also said no. The worst part was they flew to the said state where that girl lives, had an engagement party there with all of his family and friends there. She didn't even come. I'm like, ooh, so
That's not a friend.
it's not a friend.
These are the
No.
times
Legit,
in life
yeah.
when you are going on a different
Yeah.
path than people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's you gotta let people go.
Yeah.
That's a hater.
That's
I,
some jealousy.
yes,
Mhm.
I
I'm
definitely
a
think
firm
jealousy is there.
I'm a firm believer that if somebody is not happy in their own life, they will not be happy for anyone else.
I
And
agree.
it's just so unfortunate.
I agree. So she got booted, and I said, you know what, that's okay because it's early. And, like, can you imagine this drama getting dragged out throughout your wedding and your
Yeah,
bachelorette party and your bridal shower? You don't want that.
That's an undercover hater. 1000%.
Yeah.
She's not even undercover with it at this point. She's like loud and proud about it.
She maybe doesn't want to do it. Like
Yeah.
she maybe is just like, no.
And
bro,
that's
I
another
don't-
thing. I think we can normalize saying no to being a bridesmaid.
Oh, I've done it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I should have done it, and I'm going to be doing it moving forward.
Yeah.
So don't
I
ask
did-
Kelly.
No, it's true. That's what I
No,
did. I
seriously,
did
say
a
no.
firm cutoff. I will no longer
Yeah.
be anybody's bridesmaid. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Minus
And-
my sister, I'm telling everyone I'm a retired bridesmaid.
Yeah.
I am not doing it anymore.
Can't do it anymore.
How many times have you been a bridesmaid?
Probably like 8.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe more.
Were you one of the first or not of your friends to get married?
Yes, I was one of the first. So it was my wedding, and then boom, 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 boom.
She's
Yeah.
a trendsetter.
Yeah, but I think it's important. I think that people
Yeah.
associate the word no as it's rejection, but like in all actuality, it's not like.
Well, it's like, you know,
It's
I don't
just,
want to.
I can't do
I
this
can't
right
do it.
now.
I can't commit the time to
Mhm.
coming to your bachelorette party, to coming early for the wedding. Like, I can't. I don't really want to be in the financial position to purchase a bridesmaid dress, to purchase you
Mhm.
these gifts, to paying for my hair and makeup. Like, it's a big commitment. It's not just like a yes, I'm going to show up. Like, you're committing to all these tasks. And if I know I can't be there to fully support the bride going through it, then I'm not going to put her in that position either.
Yeah,
So I think it's okay to say no.
I think it's responsible.
Yeah.
If you can't do
Yeah.
it, it's responsible to say
Yeah.
respectfully, I love you to death. I will be there.
Yeah.
I'll support when I can, but I can't take the role on.
Well, because regardless, you're going to let your friend down.
Yeah.
If you say yes and you're not showing up the way that she needs you to, you're letting her down.
Mhm.
And she's going to resent you way more than when you just say
that
no up
then
front.
yes,
Yeah,
then it
it's
crumbles
almost
and the
worse.
relationship crumbles.
Yeah.
So the perspective and the silver lining on this is going through this really hard time allows you to learn communication skills. It
Yeah.
allows you to treat this relationship as an actual relationship. You know, it's like friendships when you're young and when you don't have a lot at stake are easy because like who really cares? But as you get older, you have a responsibility to act like a grown-up throughout this. And this is one of the first times when it really shows up in life that you have to actually work towards things. Things need work on them. And if it's not worth it, if the friendship's not worth that, then it's time to cut the ties. And I think that's the silver lining of this is that it really does put people in certain perspectives.
It does, and you really see your friends' true colors and how they're going to show up for you when it's your wedding and everything's kind of about you, and vice versa for them too in the future. And that is a hard thing to kind of sit with and realize, oh, maybe they're not really my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about conflict with moms specifically. I put parents originally, but like, let's be real.
Let's be real.
It's the moms.
Moms.
It's the moms. It's the moms and the mother-in-laws. So this is one of the most emotional layers of planning, I feel like, because the conflict really cuts deep during this time and it amplifies and magnifies things that are already a little shaky in life, just in general. I think that parents often have dreams of their kids' weddings and how they think it's supposed to go, or else they don't have the dreams and they dumb it down and they don't want that special kind of thing. Maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's just you don't need this kind of, you're not taking, you know, they don't take it. It's not, it's important to them, basically. And I think that when the dreams and the visions don't align between parents and the brides or the couples, then there's a lot of conflict that happens. So Sierra, I wanted you to kind of go through this part of it because you see this a lot. And I feel like for me personally, when I'm going through this with my brides, I don't nip it in the butt as much. And you're very, very straightforward in the sense of like, this is not your wedding. This is your wedding. This is the bride's wedding. And you will talk to the bride and say like, you need to make these decisions. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some stories that you have and like your perspective on this all.
Yeah, I think in general, I'm a big proponent of like you said, this is your wedding. I always want to make sure we're taking obviously mom's opinion into consideration, but it is the client's wedding at the end of the day. I've, you know, been in situations where like the mom is completely changing the entire design of the wedding or like what the client wanted. And I'm like, we've gotten venues. Yeah. And like location, like we had a bride who really wanted to get married at this certain place. She was like, I envision it. My fiance envisions it. We love it. My parents just like are not, for some reason, we didn't even know why. My parents just aren't in it. They're not loving it. And I was like, okay, but like, it's your wedding. Like, do you want to get married in this place, or do you want to get married in the place that you've told me multiple times you don't want to get married in? And like I said, I'm just a big, we can do whatever decision you guys want to make, but like, I do think it's important to like point it out and be like, okay, well, you told me this. We had this conversation. So like, mom's and dad's opinions are very important, but yours is the most important to me. I've had, previous to BTS, I did have a wedding where the bride called me and told me my mom or my fiance's mom changed everything about the brother's wedding 2 days before the wedding, like down to the colors of the wedding. Literally was like, I don't like these colors. We're changing them. We're switching everything up. So she called me to just warn me, and the mom, the day before the wedding, had tried to do the same thing to me and called me, tried to change everything about the wedding. She even, like, on the day of, texted me and was like, I think it's too hot and we should just move the ceremony inside.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, like, did you talk to the bride about that? Like, what? Also, the bride had just, like, gotten some back, she, like, had just, like, broke her back or something crazy. It was, like, the weird, oh my gosh, there was so much going on. And I was like, did you talk to the bride about just moving, like, you can't just, like, move things? And she was like, no, I think you should call her and you should tell her that that's your idea and you want to move it inside. And I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna do that, actually.
That's a horror story.
And unless she says something to me and says, I think it's too hot out, I want to go inside, like, we're just not doing that. And it made the mom very upset with me. But that's fine. I'll gladly take people being upset with me. Like Aaliyah said earlier in this episode, I love being the bad guy for my client if you need me to be. So yeah, I love moms and I love dads and I love their opinions. But I think it's just hard for them to remember that, like, this is not your day. And I know it's really important to them, but it's not about you. And also, you got married a long time ago. I think that's something that they forget too, is like, you got married probably, 30 years ago? Yeah. Like, things are very different now, and weddings look very different. Yeah. They also cost a lot more money.
It's true. And also, I feel like it's important to understand, like, they did the dynamics between the parents and the kids getting married, because there's sometimes when the parents just genuinely have the best interest at heart,
1,000%.
and the bride or the couple maybe just making bad choices, and the mom is like, I'm seeing this differently, you know, and I have a different lens that I'm looking at this because I am older and I have thrown a lot of parties, and, you know, and there's a lot of times when people actually genuinely care. And then there's times when people are just selfish and they want it their way regardless. And there's other times when parents are just, I don't know if it's a jealousy thing or it's just, I don't care. This is a waste of my time. They want to dumb it down. But it's important to understand that dynamic, because I have had parents have very serious conversations with me, like, don't forget, at the end of the day, I'm paying the bills. Yep. And I'm like, okay, understood. But a lot of times when that comes up, they're coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different. But then there are, like, the times when it's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the silver lining and the best way to look at parent conflict is to understand that parents are going through a transition as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, when we're younger and we're looking at parents, you look at them like as if they have it all together. And now, me being 41 years old, understand that people don't have it all together.
No.
It doesn't matter what stage or what age of life they're in. Like, bad seeds are bad seeds, you know, and whether it's a 6-year-old bad seed or a 6-year-old bad seed, it doesn't matter. It's just some parents they don't have it all together and they don't know how to go through it. So it's important just to understand who the parents are and just like, hey, this is how they are. But I would say avoid the conflict if at all possible and really just try to work through it, because you can lose a bridesmaid, but like, it's not worth losing your mom.
It's worth losing your mom. Yeah. I know. I do try
It's
to
just
like,
not worth it.
when I do have brides who are getting like, oh my God, my mom's driving me insane. I try to like, she's just a girl.
Yeah.
She's just a girl. It's her first time too.
Yeah.
I know that she's really convinced you don't like the color blue and you've told me how much you love it, but like, she's just a girl too. And she just loves you.
Yeah, exactly. You just
But
gotta
I'll tell
always
her
remember
that we're doing blue.
Yeah.
I got you, girl.
But this is what we're doing. And that's it. Yeah, very important. Okay, so next up, conflict with your vendors or your venue. So we, as wedding planners, have so many moving parts to things, and I can attest that during the wedding planning process, there are a lot of times when clients' expectations do not align with the services that they are being provided. So we have been on every single angle of this. We have been the company that has had to let a bride go. We have been the company that has been let go. We have been the company that is picked up from another wedding planner when things didn't go as right. And at the end of the day, I can tell you that we are a damn good wedding planning company, but not everybody aligns, you know? So we can have a client and service them to the best of our abilities, but there could be times when they're like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted something different. You know, there's like this saying where people say, you could be like the biggest, sweetest, juiciest peach, and there's still going to be people that don't like peaches. You know, like it's just kind of one of those things. And the same goes in the other way. You could be a crap vendor. You know, you could be just starting off. You could be somebody that maybe has good intentions, but you're not equipped for the level of client that you have at that point in time. And so my biggest advice through this is to have very serious conversations. Again, a lot of these conflicts arise and need just some more layers of communication. And so I think that if your expectations are different than the services that you're receiving, you need to have conversations, and both parties need to agree, like, yeah, I can meet your expectations, or no, I can't meet your expectations. And these are unreasonable requests, you know? And at that point in time, you either need to develop a plan, a very strict plan, maybe a new contract moving forward, or you need to sever ties. And again, severing ties doesn't necessarily mean that you're a shit client or that you're a shit vendor. It means that y'all two are not aligning on things. Like, it's just not where you're supposed to be. So my biggest advice is to sever those ties early or address the conflict early, so that way you can move forward. Because when you're planning a wedding, time is of the essence. And because of this, you don't have a lot of time to waste on things. You know, we just took over a client right now who, we're in March, their wedding is at the end of April, and we've taken this over from another planner, and they've been unhappy.
Generous.
Yeah. Yes.
Planner.
And they've been unhappy for a long time with them. And it's unfortunate because I wish we had more time with them. Like, we can do the best that we can do, but like, if we had more time, like, this would have been a lot better. So again, just to reiterate everything, I think that communication is key. Really just hunkering down and figuring out plans to move forward are important. If things align, then keep on rolling. It's better to repair than it is to start over. But if things don't align, then you gotta go. You gotta just kind of cut your losses. So I think that one of the silver linings of this part is that you're learning about business and contracts. You're learning about paying attention to things. You're learning about who to get into business with and who not. And again, a lot of our couples are young, you know, and this is their first time going through something like this. And we do sometimes have couples that are a little bit older and a little more seasoned in life, and they kind things. Anything else for that?
I think just in general, like, when you get engaged, be prepared to have really tough conversations.
Yeah.
Just
With
throughout with everybody.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's definitely like a rite of passage to like grown-up stuff. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
as unfortunate as it is, you don't want anybody to ever have to experience these kind of things, but it really does strengthen you and grow you up as a person. I think that wedding planning conflict doesn't necessarily mean failure. I think
No
it just
way.
means lessons, and it means
Yeah.
a lot of growth. I think that you want to make sure that you're communicating and seeing other sides instead of initially getting defensive. You want to assume good intent, no matter what the situation is. No matter if there's just no way to assume good intent, you still want to really try, because we see a lot of bridges burn during wedding planning with our couples. We see a lot of like relationships sever, and if at all possible, these people have been in your life for a long time. So at least try, but also be okay if it is time for things to part. So I think at the end of the day, your wedding planning is more than just that wedding day. It's really